The thing about the M4 is it really does everything you want a sports coupe to do. Just clicked over 65,000 miles, and I haven't done all those miles, but I have done a lot of them. We've taken this car from Florida to Michigan, which is where I bought the car. Now we've taken the car from Michigan to California, which is where we're at right now. And through them, we put a lot of soft cruising miles on it. We put a lot of hard, spirited driving miles on the car. M4 Coupe is a souped up, tuned up version of the regular 4 Series coupe. This time BMW put an inline 6 S55 3.0-liter twin turbo engine that produces around 425 plus horsepower stock. And that's also putting all that power down to the rear wheel. So it is a rear wheel drive car. This generation does not offer any kind of all-wheel drive models. On top of that, we've got the paddle shifters, classic 7-speed dual clutch transmission that a lot of people rave about because of how fast and smooth the gearbox is for an automatic transmission. It's almost instantaneous the way this thing shifts. Okay, so what do we have here? We have what I call the Sharp Pearl. This is a mineral white metallic paint. This was a base M4 coupe that we've done a handful of tasteful mods to the car. This one comes standard with the adaptive first generation LED headlights. Another little thing that I did is just cleared out the reflectors. They used to be orange because here in the US it comes standard with that. I like the European look better. So 65,000 miles. How is this car done? If you look at the front bumper, actually a good amount of stone chips for cars of this mileage. Also on top of that, the CS front lips, they chip up night and day. This thing pretty much is a stone chip magnet. They're not standard BMW wheels. These are Black Diamond BD F-12 wheels. And to be fair, these cars come with 19-inch wheels stock. You can get the 20-inch wheels with the competition. And I actually like these wheels much better than the OEM wheels. These kind of remind me more of the competition wheels from the E92 M3, which I think is more of a classic and more heritage type look for the M4. I've tried out a few different tires. I actually have some cheaper tires on the car right now just because I did the road trip from Michigan to California. With that being said, as soon as I can, I'm going to be throwing some Michelins back on this thing because they're the best tire I've ever seen on these cars. As far as brakes go, this car does not have the carbon ceramics. Personally, I don't think the carbon ceramics are worth it on this car unless you're really tracking the car. I think the standard brakes has plenty of stopping power and keeps you nice and safe on the road, any kind of traffic or back road. So rear end of the car, we talked about that carbon fiber front lip. Well, I went ahead and did the whole body kit. So we have carbon fiber side skirts, we've got a carbon fiber rear spoiler, we have a carbon fiber diffuser with the LED brake light, kind of like the Ferraris and the F1 cars, right in the middle between the exhaust tips. This car also has 20% tint. On top of that, the car does have an AWE track exhaust, which I think sounds absolutely insane. So getting in this car is actually pretty easy for some sporty type seats that this thing does have from the factory. You've got M4 on the dash, which is a nice reminder every time you get into the car, you're not in just some regular 4 Series. You also got M on the steering wheel, M4 on the door sills, and the M logo on the shift knob. This car does come standard with carbon fiber trim, so we got carbon fiber up by the infotainment unit, carbon fiber down low. You do the carbon fiber shift knob and shifts around. So 65,000 miles, how is the interior of this car done? I would say absolutely superb. It's actually one of the best things about these cars is the build quality. You're gonna notice the leather doesn't wear like the older generation M cars used to. As far as the design, it's nice, simple, and authentic to the BMW heritage for the M cars. You got very driver-focused seating position. You've got your speedometer, tachometer, your fuel gauge, and your coolant temperature, and that's just about all your heads-up display shows you, which I think is the perfect amount. The seat itself is in great shape, but the badges on the seat, they crack pretty easily on the pre-face of cars. We do have a little bit of wear on the shoulder bolster just from getting inside out the car, because you get in kind of like that and turn your shoulders like that. So if you're somebody who's kind of heavy with your body and you're always bumping and scratching into things, this is not the car for you, because the leather in this car is extremely soft. I would say it's actually very close to, you know, a Porsche or a Ferrari. The merino leather in this car is very high end, and you know, if you got long nails, you're not cutting your nails, or you know, you got screwdrivers in your pockets, you're throwing your keys everywhere, this interior will get scratched up a lot. And that's something to consider about these cars. with electric steering. First generation M3, M4 to come with non-power steering. So it's a very efficient steering rack. You don't have any leaks, and it's very reliable. I mean, these cars do over 120,000 miles and never have to have anything serviced to the steering rack. This generation, the kind of theme you guys will be noticing is the reliability you will be getting from this generation of M car. This specific car is not stock. We do have a stage 2 tune from Alpine Motorsport. We've got AWE track exhaust. So what's going wrong with this car? I've had this car for a couple of years. You know, it's at 65,000 miles. You start back to the beginning of the car when it was new from the factory. In the first couple thousand miles, this car did have a transmission leak and was replaced with a new gearbox. After that, to around 45,000 miles when I bought the car, that's how much I had it with. There was no issues with this car. So after I picked up the car, as far as servicing, all we've done is oil changes, we've done spark plugs, it's preventative, and we haven't had anything to make this car go into shop and get serviced. I come from an E39 and that's something you really got to replace parts here and there. It's kind of a normal part of ownership. That's where with this, you just get in and drive it. So what makes the car so special? I really think it has to be just how this thing makes you feel. So it kind of makes you feel like you're in something exotic, and for the price point, I picked this specific car up for 35 grand. Obviously with the market being inflated and the new generation M series not doing as well, so more people are looking at these, you can really expect to spend around 45,000 and up, depending on the mileage. But even so, for under $50,000, this car really makes you feel like you're in close to a $100,000 car. So that's what these cars cost new. This specific one was $85,000, and every time you get in it, it just does what you want it to do. And then when you want to, you can really get on the car. It turns into a completely different driving machine. And it can beat Lamborghinis, Ferraris. I mean, I've raced a few exotic cars with this M4, and it's really done superb. What is the best M car? I mean, it's hard to say. I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's the one that really makes you feel the best. And I think so far, out of all the M cars I've owned and been in, overall, this is just a full package deal. You really can't get much better than this. You know, at this point, I think it's safe to say the M4 has kind of become a part of the family. I mean, you know, me and my girlfriend, we look to this car to have the most fun on weekends. It's kind of a thing. We just get in this car, enjoy its performance, enjoy its daily drivability. We take it to the beach, we take it to the mountains, the canyons, we take it to the grocery store. And I really, you know, think about parting ways with this car, and it's so hard because, like I said, how this car makes you feel, you know, it just makes you feel like you're part of a family. That's the shortest way I can put it. You know, it feels like you're part of Bmw M. And the new M3 and M4 honestly isn't really my taste. And, you know, this car does everything so well. It's so durable. It looks so good. When you look at the exterior of the car, you feel honored and privileged to drive something like this. And that's not something every car makes you feel.